Meantime, the strike of Hollywood actors has paused all filming and production of movies.
While that plays out, you can still check out previously released films like They Cloned Tyrone. It's a new movie on Netflix, but is it News 2 approved? WFMY News 2 Manning Franks, of course, has that answer.
Do you feel like that there is somebody watching you? Like there are people out there observing your every move? Perhaps there even is another you out there. Well, that's the feeling that's been personified in the brand new genre-bending comedy They Cloned Tyrone, an ode to blaxploitation films with a pulpy sci-fi twist that is sure to catch your eye. This film was put on my radar, and because it's Netflix, it's easy to push play. And thankfully, I didn't want to push pause anytime soon.
Slick, come on. That make your spider senses tingle. What is this?
Like I'm in the twilight zone now.
Don't let the back door hit you.
We gotta go.
In the community of the Glen, drug dealer Fontaine goes about his life from waking up to buying a lottery ticket to hanging with friends. It's nearly the same routine. That is until Fontaine is shot to death. But then he wakes up the next day like nothing happened.
You should be breathing through some tubes right now.
Couple that with a series of strange happenings, and with the help of Slick Charles and Yo-Yo, Fontaine plans to uncover what's going on in the Glen. You all know by now that I'm a big fan of films that play with tone, that ebb and flow between genres, and They Cloned Tyrone fits nicely and often perfectly into that category. From offering blistering social commentary to tackling sci-fi concepts like cloning and mind control, the film has its tongue firmly planted in its cheek with its larger-than-life characters and story that has elements of 80s and 90s classics like They Live and Groundhog Day. While the direction and story from Joel Taylor is confidently illustrated throughout the movie, the real selling point is the commitment between a holy trinity of a main cast. The main star, John Boyega, while providing the stereotypical straight man laughs, houses the emotional core that brings a darker edge to the movie. Across from him, Teyonah Parris and Foxx provide some of the best comedic chemistry of the year, playing a duo that works perfectly either together or separately. This is one of those titles that could easily get lost in the ever-expanding Netflix catalog, but in terms of original content that I've watched recently on the platform, They Cloned Tyrone is a lean, easy watch that is worth the stream. In fact, I can see myself easily watching this again. I'm giving They Cloned Tyrone a 2 approved. You can stream this only on Netflix.
All right, so
2 approved.
2 approved. We'll do that every time I get a 2 approved. 2 approved.
give me the general premise, like if you concise.
Oh, well, without spoiling too much,
Yeah.
it's basically reminds you of Groundhog Day to an extent, and as I've said in the review, They Live from the 80s and the 90s. Do you guys know They Live at all? Okay,
Wait,
well.
yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I do now that
Or someone puts on these glasses
Yes.
and they realize there's a whole other world out there.
Yes.
Similar to that, and that's all that I will say, because there are some twists and turns even in the first like 30 minutes.
A lot of twists and turns. I've seen it. I will say I had to watch it kind of like, it took me maybe the 3rd time to actually slowly enjoy it, because the first time I wasn't getting into it that much, but then the 2nd and 3rd time I was getting into it. I'm a big Jamie Foxx fan. He's very, very
so
talented.
good in
He
this.
does phenomenal in the movie, but it's a good movie. It is.
Yeah, no, I really do enjoy it because, as I've said in the review, I love movies that play with genre and kind of ebb and flow between tone. And this movie does that because in the 15-30 minutes it changes. And you probably know that it very changes.
It was just very different
It
too,
is.
though. You know what I mean? It was very different.
Have we
so.
piqued y'all's interest?
Movies.
Like, okay.
Well, I like the fact that there's like kind of high-tech sci-fi, but it's set in
the
an older
the
time.
80s, I believe.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For sure.
Thank you, Manny Franks. 2 approved.
2 approved, so you
We'll be
gotta
right
check
back.
it out.